Aren't you tired of making the same New Year resolution just to see them crumble in front of you by the end of February? And you feel trapped, you cannot change your habits. Every year, the same story. What if this year you can use science to make things different and make it happen? I will give you the solution in this video. After many research I made, I came up with this amazing plan that you can use it right now. I call it the Resolution 2025, which you can start using. The idea behind this plan is in fact not to gain a new habit, but to get rid of this one habit that is ruining all of your progress. This year, make it count. I divided this plan into 8 parts. Let's start with the first one. The first thing that you have to do is to understand something called the habit loop. This is divided into 3 steps. How does a habit get created? The first thing that we need is the cue. The cue is, for example, stress, boredom, something that will trigger this spiral of things. Number 2 is a routine. So here we have to swap it with a better choice. So instead of, scrolling on social media, try to read one page or try to get your news or this feed of information from something different this time. And number 3, the reward, of course, is, as the name implies, to reward yourself every time you make this nice habit. This is just the first part. The second part is you have to leverage keystone habits. So habits with ripple effects. This year, try to search for habits that have something called ripple effects. Ripple effects means that one habit can target many things at the same time. For example, regular exercise improves your health, your physical appearance, your mood, and it helps with your food choices. Another example is nightly journaling. If you journal at night, something that I talk about a lot, it reduces your stress, it gives you a better sleep, reduces screen time, and reduces your night snacks. This is why I invite you to think of a habit that you can add instead of a bad habit that has this ripple effect. Let's move on to point number 3, which is break the environment attachment. So according to Dr. Wendy Wood, habits are tied to specific environment and or trigger. It goes without saying that if you want to change a bad habit that's crippling you, it is most of the time associated with an environment. It's time to change drastically this environment. So point A, change the environment. Rearrange, reposition, or even eliminate. You have to be aggressive. And point number B is disrupt the context. So, do you usually snack while watching TV and every night you like to watch some TV? Then there is an association between snacking and watching TV. Then you have to disrupt this connection. You have to change it. Be aggressive. Moving on to point number 4, it's implementation intentions. This is something that I have read in the book of James Clear, Atomic Habits. So studies show that if you have this if-then formulation, it increases your chances of breaking bad habits. I will give you an example. If I have an urge to scroll mindlessly on my phone, then I will walk for 5 minutes instead. So create this backup plan. Have it in your mind set. So for example, now you're watching this video and you are motivated to change a habit. But the problem is, once you have this urge to make it happen, this bad habit, you don't have this backup plan. You just do it. You give in. This is why now it's the time to create this backup plan. If I crave fast food, I'm gonna drink 2 glasses of water. This is one backup plan. And this is backed by science. It increases your chances of breaking bad habits. So it's a pre-decided action. It decreases the decision fatigue. This is why it works. And it increases the commitment. Moving on to point number 5, make it hard. And this, I wrote it in bold. Economics principle of friction. This is basics. The harder it is to perform an action, the less likely we are to do it. As easy as it might sound. So increase the friction to bad habits. Delete applications. Freeze your credit cards if you binge shop online. And decrease the friction to good habits. For example, meal preps 1 week or a few days ahead. Or another example is to have your gym clothes ready. This is an important point. Now moving on to Point number 6, the magic of 1%. The problem with our habits or our motivational lifestyle is that we don't believe in small and minute improvements. We like to see something like immensely changing all of a sudden. This doesn't happen. No one has success overnight. And you don't even want it, because along the journey, along the way, you learn new stuff. And neuroscience has something to say here, that small incremental changes are more sustainable than an abrupt change. This is why it's important to use this 1% rule. For example, snacking late at night, replace one snack with carrots. If you snack, I don't know, like 3 kinds of snacks, replace one of them with a healthy snack. Then you change that week after week, so you can snack all the time healthy stuff. This is important for it to be sustainable and consistent. Moving on to point number 7, build accountability. According to Dr. B.J. Fogg, accountability partners increases the success rate with some studies. This is why I invite you to always share your progress with a close friend or a close family member, or even with communities you can find online or some applications. Why not? In that way, whenever you feel tired or down, you can even share your negative thoughts or feelings, and they might help you to carry on and move forward again. It is something, in fact, that I use a lot during my medical training. I do rely on accountability partners so much. It is an aspect extremely important, especially when you are on a journey that is so long, you cannot travel it alone. Moving on to the final point, which is point number 8, the power of self-compassion. And one of the best partners that you can ever have is yourself. And this is why, according to studies, self-compassion also increases the chances of breaking bad habits. You don't have to be hard on yourself, not your mental health, not your physical health, and not even the progress that you're trying to achieve in this new year. A trick that I've learned from a psychologist that I really like it, I will share it with you. She told me, treat yourself as if you are talking to your best friend. So would you be that hard on your best friend, or would you treat him or her in a nicer way? So treat yourself as if you're treating your best friend. We are most of the time harder on ourselves than we are on our friends. Choose this one habit that you really want to get rid of. Trust me, another good habit will take its place. As a summary for this video, this resolution of the year 2025, first of all, understand the habit loop so you can break it. Number 2, leverage keystone habits. Break the environment attachment. Number 4, use something called the implementation intentions. Number 5, make it hard. Number 6, have faith in the magic of 1%. Number 7, build accountability. And finally, number 8, don't forget the power of self-compassion. And in that way, we conclude this video. Thank you so much. Think of the habit that you want to break, and let's make this year count. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.